everyone, I thought it would be time to do a little update on my cello progress. I don't really have anything much to show for it at this point. I'm now working on the Swan, which is really exciting, but it's just still in its very, very rough nails on a chalkboard kind of stage. But I think I will play it through anyways, because as I work on this, hopefully I will see the progress and you will see the progress. Before I do that though, there's a couple of things that I've been working on in order to prep for this piece. And one of those is shifting exercises. I've learned a new shifting exercise. And the idea behind it is to go up. Oh, my bow, I forgot I loosened it. So it's to create flexibility, fluidity, and create this like circling shape in which when you go down the fingerboard, you're making that kind of gesture, and then the reverse is true for going back, so that you don't feel like you're like crowded or stretching or stuck. And so the exercise goes like this. And then you do it on all your different fingers. Another exercise that I've been doing to prep with this is when I do my scales, because there's a very common pattern of 3/4 notes slurred at a time. And so in order to make sure that my bow is being distributed equally, I'll do, for example, my G major scale, and I'll try to distribute my bow with the same bowings that the Swan has. So now normally I will do that with a metronome to make sure that I'm staying within that, like, I don't trust my own rhythm. So I do it with a metronome and make sure that, like, every click is nicely distributed. And then another thing that I've been doing, because the Swan, vibrato is such a big element of bringing this particular piece to life, and because I've been mostly working on Bach for my whole cello career, as it is such, I haven't really developed my vibrato, and it's lacking. And obviously that's something that's just going to take, even professionals that have been playing for 20 years have all these criticisms about their vibrato. So it's just one of those things. But what my teacher showed me, a new vibrato exercise, is to do something like this. And do it on all your fingers, but one of the important things is to create control, so make each back and forth as consistent as possible, and also whatever note you start on and whatever note you end on, those should always be your parameters. You should try to make those two notes like your goal. So don't go all over the place. You want it to be really structured to help control the vibrato. And then take smaller jumps with that, so maybe just like little half steps will be your new parameter. And then incorporate that. In my lesson, we were joking about how it sounds like a theremin. So make every note sound like a theremin. So if I were to practice the Swan, it starts on G, so instead of just playing the G, I would go. But that's really hard to do, while maintaining, somehow bringing out the notes still, like even if it's a muddled mess, just to get comfortable moving around the fingerboard with your vibrato as well, because that's a big part of it. And then with the shifting exercise that I just talked about, she is having me apply that and, you know, really exaggerate those shifting movements. So for the Swan, it starts out like this. And then, so really just in practice, just to get that motion in your system. That was really exaggerated, and obviously that's not how you want it to sound. And then I do have a new exercise, which is supposed to really help improve my shifting. And it's kind of a mess right now. I only just started working on this, but it mostly remains on one string. Starts off with the D string, but then you can change that same pattern to the A string or the C string or whatever. Apply that to all of the strings, that same bowing fingering pattern. So. So anyways, I'm really excited to have that exercise because I think it's going to be so helpful for making all those shifts. And for these exercises, I'm encouraged to allow myself to slide up just so I can, you know, experience the whole shift and have a better idea of the process. So I'm just going to play the Swan in its very embarrassing and rough state. But it'll be great to have for progress, posterity. tricky. And then I don't have any confidence in my vibrato, so it only comes out very rarely. And it's especially hard in these higher positions. It feels very different. And when it's like supposed to be really, really soft, I'm not quite sure how to execute that, because I feel like in order to play softly, my bow pressure has to be really light. And then so with vibrato, I feel like my bow is bouncing a lot. But anyways, so work in progress. Excited to turn this into something. I'm going to learn a lot. I'm already learning a lot from it. And it's nice to kind of branch out and try some new challenges, because I have been doing Bach for a really long time now. So anyways, happy practicing. I hope you have a wonderful summer.